if you're spending a lot of time distracting yourself and overstimulating yourself with technology, if you're eating all the bad foods and you're not stepping out of your comfort zone regularly, then you're not going to be living a good life. You can have a much more exciting, exhilarating life when you step outside of your comfort zone and you start stepping towards the fears. There's a lot of manifestation teachers right now that are relying on you being afraid to step out of your comfort zone, and so they attract you with the teachings of you can just hang around at home and just feel as if the wish has been fulfilled and the car and the house all magically appear without you stepping out of your comfort zone and start working with the fear that comes up. But it's the fear that you carry within you that's keeping you small. It's keeping you within your comfort zone. It's keeping you distracting yourself constantly on your phone, numbing yourself out with porn and sugar. It's all done because of the fear that you carry within you, and that fear, it puts you into a lower state of consciousness. This is why you're not stepping out and truly pushing your comfort zone and finding where your edge is. As a man, you want to know where your edge is, and you want to almost daily be pushing yourself out of that edge. When I say push, I mean almost like inviting yourself, because you don't want to push yourself into doing things you're not ready to do. But I know that many of you that are stuck at home really are completely avoiding any tension that arises when you step outside of your comfort zone, and that's why you spend all your time distracting yourself. And if you're not careful, that's going to carry on for many more years. Now, you can say that you're not ready yet, and that would be true if that's what you believe. But that's the power of belief. If you believe you're not ready to really step into your fears, then you're not. But all it takes is a change of belief. It takes a very quick shift in your belief. That's the belief, oh, I can do this. I can start stepping into my fear. I really can step outside of my comfort zone. And then you've got the ability to. So I don't believe when any man says he's not ready yet, other than because that's what he says. Now, there's ways of doing this sensibly, I guess, for lack of a better word, and that is knowing that when you step too far outside of your comfort zone, then you can make yourself a little worse. And that is usually comes from an insecurity in itself, and this need to like push into doing things that you're not ready to do, a bit like a bull in a china shop. Because when you do that, you lack a sense of feeling. It tends to be done as an avoid, oh, I don't want to feel this fear, so I'm just going to go into it full steam ahead. And because of that, you don't truly feel the fear, and it's in the feeling of the fear and getting to know the fear that the healing happens. So just think about it like a bull in a china shop. You don't want to go full steam ahead too much, because you'll lack the feeling that you need to actually release the fear, which is what happens when we feel emotions, right? Emotions aren't meant to be stored within us. The Latin root word for emotion is to move out. It means to like literally to move out. So if you're someone who's avoiding his edge, avoiding his comfort zone, then there's not going to be much growth in that too. Obviously, we know that there isn't any growth in completely avoiding fear in life, because we'll just remain as we are, and that's fine if that's what you want to do. But as a man, to have that forward momentum, that direction in life, that's how masculine energy moves. It's not just hanging back at home just staring into a screen all day. That isn't what we're built for. We're built to be powerful creators. I mean, look at everything around. I mean, look at all these buildings here. I mean, everything is all pretty much built by men. It came into our imagination, and then we birthed it into this physical reality, and we created it. And in order for you to have a good life, you want to be the creator of your own journey, of your own reality. And if you're not creating and not being a powerful creator, and you're not kind of manifesting the ideas that you've got coming through you, then you're going to lack a sense of confidence. because you're not doing the things that you could be doing. You're going to shut yourself down. You're going to let the fear keep you small. So you don't want to spend all your time just avoiding your comfort zone. There's no real growth in that. Even guys that say they're happy just avoiding, sitting in within that comfort zone, sometimes I question whether they actually are, because I don't believe they are mostly. It's just done as an avoidance of feeling uncomfortable, feeling fear. So there's a third way of doing this, guys, and it's a more mindful approach. It's just to see where you're afraid, see where your edge is, and step towards it, but with presence, because then we see and we feel the discomfort that rises up in us, and that's the discomfort that's been keeping us from stepping out into the world and finding our direction and finding our mission, right? It's the feelings that come up in us that make us avoid doing these things. And then when it does, we can truly feel it, we can get to know it, we can even get to a point of loving our fear. And when we can do that, everything starts to shift. I can't promote anything enough. This is really just such a beautiful thing to be able to gift yourself, is to start seeing your fear as areas of growth, things to step towards rather than blocks to avoid. Because I've spent so much of my life avoiding fear, and therefore just numbing myself out in so many empty pleasures and distractions. And I've always had this dream of what I wanted, but I was just too afraid to deal with the emotions that came up. But it's like a muscle. Each time you avoid fear, you kind of like increase the weaker side of you. But each time you step towards fear, you increase the strength within you. Like, courage can't exist without fear. That's a really powerful thing to remember. You need to have fear in order to develop courage. So it's not about waiting till there's no fear. In order for there to be no fear, you have to feel the fear, and you have to feel the fear by stepping outside of your comfort zone. And then you just start releasing the fear just through being with it, through feeling it, through not judging it, not having thoughts about it. You just feel the fear, because it's okay to be afraid. You can't get rid of your fear until you accept it anyway. So by judging it and saying that claiming you don't have it, ignoring it, suppressing it, you're just keeping it down, but you're keeping it there. You're not getting rid of it. Yeah, the things that I'm doing now that I never thought I'd be doing, like even a year ago, the level of tension and the level of fear that I'm stepping towards now, in like creating this online business, talking to groups of people, running workshops, recording these videos. It's a new level of tension and fear that I've slowly worked my way up to by stepping into the smaller levels of fear, learning how to handle it, learning to ground the energy. So when the tension comes up, rather than going up into our head, which is where we go to when we're stressed, we bring the tension and the energy down into the lower body and then down through our feet. And then that way we're less reactional to the world, right? Because if you think about it, if you step towards fear and you don't want to do that, it's because the fear gets so uncomfortable, and we haven't been taught as men how to handle fear. So we tend to go up into our head and eject and avoid and feel shit, and then shame spirals and whatever else. And that going up here, right, that's the energy going up here, because that's where we go to when we're stressed. But the more embodiment and grounding work you do, when the stress comes up and we see it, we can bring it back down. We've kind of got an empty channel where the energy can shoot down into our lower body. And now when things get uncomfortable, rather than going up into our head, we can maintain a lower center of gravity. We're more comfortable under tension, we're more uncomfortable with our own fear. And then the world starts opening up to you. The universe repays you for the courage of stepping out and starting to take action. Things start coming back to you. You start feeling good about yourself. I mean, it's kind of crazy, this whole process. But if I think about, like, this time last year, I was more stressed out with all the shit going on in my head, and I was doing nothing to step forward. I was literally I was living in Thailand. I was just smoking a lot of weed, smoking cigarettes, eating nice foods, drinking a lot of coffee, that kind of thing. It was fine, but I was living in paradise, stressed because of all the shit that was the dysregulation in my nervous system and all this stuff, and that was just from all the addictions and the habits that I was partaking in. Now I've got so much stuff going on, like with the business, different businesses, different ideas, and I'm executing them on all of them, and I'm so much less stressed, but I'm not with all of that work that I'm doing as well. I'm not going out drinking and releasing all that tension through alcohol, and I'm not even eating sugar. I'm not smoking weed or cigarettes anymore. So all of that build up of energy from not taking those, not going into those habits, of being channeled into creating my dream reality. And this is how we develop confidence within ourselves. This is how we have a good life, especially as men. We want to get out there and start creating that life that we know we're here to create. You can do it too. You might think you can't. The only reason you can't is because you think you can't. Everything is around the corner for you once you can truly start relating to yourself in a way that is going to benefit you. And you want to catch your thoughts. That's the big one. Catch your thinking. See all the ways you're telling yourself that you can't do something, and realize that that's why you can't. It's just your thoughts. What you might have to do, what you probably will have to do, and I still have to do now, is I tell myself thoughts of positivity even when I don't believe it, because that's what's putting it into my unconscious, and it's my unconscious that's dictating my whole life. That's how my life is mostly an expression from my unconscious. My unconscious is receiving signals from my thinking. I'm either thinking I can't do it, or I'm thinking I can. I'm thinking that I can handle my fear, or I'm thinking that I can't. Whichever one is most prominent, that's what we start expressing. So you are expressing you're a confident man, or you're expressing you're an unconfident man. And the more confidence you have, the better your life will be, the happier you'll be, the more money you'll make, the more women will want to be with you, whatever you're looking for. I mean, I'm not really promoting the idea of trying to get lots of women to want to be with you, but naturally that will happen. You become more an attractive man because you've got your confidence down and you feel confident. Confidence is a feeling, remember that. It's not a state of mind. I mean, it can be a state of mind, I guess, but you want to feel confident. It's not a thought, it's a feeling. And you feel confident through being present. That's as simple as that. You don't need to try and become confident by any other means other than just to be present, which means to not be existing up in your head and rejecting yourself and believing the shitty stories that you've had up there your whole life. It's just coming down into the body and just feeling present in the moment, accepting who you are in the moment. That's your confidence, and you can access it any time. It's available to you right this second as you watch this video. If you just feel down into your body, you can feel down the front of your body as you breathe in through your nose, and you just sit with your presence, just sit feeling activation in your body. You do that for like a couple of minutes, you'll calm your thoughts down, you'll feel good in your body, boom, you'll be in a state of natural confidence. If you try it out, let me know how you go in the comments. Thanks for watching, see you soon.